you're not a fan of stupid ideas that mean nothing to this world, leave now. You've been warned. What's up, guys? EJ here. Today, back with another video for you guys. Now, this is kind of more of a rant/ideas video for what I would usually do, even though I haven't posted an actual video in a while. Ignore that, okay? This is going to be a what if specific Nerf guns were in a FPS shooter. Which, looking back at what I just said first person shooter, but whatever. So I have 3 blasters with me, and one that I do not have, but will still work with the gimmick of one of them. We're going to go with the brain saw and the crosscut. But we're going to talk about the crosscut in a minute. But the brain saw is modeled after the rough cut 2x4. But instead of shooting 2 at once like a dope shotgun, it only shoots 1 because of the giant freaking chainsaw here. We'll get to this in a minute, but we're going to talk about this right now. So how you'd actually load it, usually with the physical blaster, it would be front loaded, but in game, you move the pump back and you load it, breech load right here. Now, even though, again, this one only shoots 1 at a time rather than the rough cut that shoots 2 at once, this will still shoot 2 at once to give that kind of shotgun feel. And it would still have, you know, the 4 shots before you'd have to reload. Think the, what shotgun am I thinking? The Frontier Justice Engineer shotgun from TF2 with the similar 4 shot capacity. God, I'm gonna get that mixed up a lot, aren't I? So, that's enough for the actual blaster here. Now to get to the main gimmick of the brain saw is the dope freaking chainsaw portion. So how this would work is it would have 2 modes, unrevved and revved. So how unrevved would work is you would just have your slash in and it would do minor damage. But the real kicker is when you have it revved up. This will last like maybe 30 to 40 seconds before shutting down, since it is part blaster after all. But that would basically mean your attacks do more damage and have a bleed effect for a few seconds. And also, say you're sitting here idle, some enemy walks up to you, they're gonna get hit by the spinning saw, because that's just how physics work. Now, enough about this. Time to get to a blaster that I do not currently have. I wish I did, but I don't. I'll put a picture somewhere on screen. The crosscut. Now, the crosscut is basically a quad rod cut in half with a saw blade and secondary trigger. That's what revs it up. It'll be similar, but it would be more faster, but at the cost of having it, I think it has a smaller blade anyway. It would do less damage, but it would still have the same bleed effect and faster swinging. Though it's not as cool when you're swinging around a pistol with a saw on it when it could be having a freaking chainsaw. Alright, this is editing EJ here. Real quick, I'm just going to say that in my initial recording, I didn't mention that the brain saw and crosscut both hold up. The brain saw will take up your primary and melee, and the crosscut will take up your secondary and melee. So you can't have, like, the brain saw and then a katana. You have to have... It's a bundle deal. If you want the brain saw, you have to have the saw melee part as well. So, yeah. The next blaster I want to talk about, the Elite Moto Blitz. So, it's the regular bolt pump, magazine-fed, semi-auto blaster. However, the shotgun integration here, how it works, you pump it up about, like, 10 times to get maximum around, right? And then you fire all 6 shots. The gameplay would work similar, except instead of coming with it would come with a 15-round mag, though I feel like if we're gonna have a Nerf style game, we're gonna be able to swap out mags with bigger ones, so that's not really gonna matter. However, okay, you would fire off 10 shots, does it hit or not, that doesn't matter. Fire off 10 shots, you'd be able to fire the shotgun integration, which would have its own ammo pool, so you don't need to worry about wasting your no need to waste ammo for this, when this one has its own reservoir. Though it is smaller, since, you know, you're not going to be shooting it as much. Other than that, that's your average gun. Right. So the fourth idea I have here is another zombie weapon, though it's not a zombie strike. It's the NERF zombie corruptor. This one, it would still be, you know, pull that back, shoot off one. However, the difference is, if you look on the magazine it comes with, it shoots, it looks like it has test tubes in there, right? So I figured this would be a cool gameplay idea to have a slower projectile. However, when you would shoot one, slightly slower than your average dart, but if it were to hit either an enemy or like the wall or ground or something, it would leave acid on a player. It would be about like 5 to 6 seconds acidic damage. But if shot on the ground or a wall, any enemy that comes in contact with that pool that stays for like 3 to 4 seconds would get a nerf version of the acidic effect that they got if they were just directly shot with it. Another cool thing is that you can see all these like different clear areas of like science stuff. So a secondary idea is that, say if this got like to the absolute maximum, it would shoot with ooze coming around the test tube. That would the acidic damage would be a bit higher, and the actual time of the effect would be longer. So it would last up to like maybe 10 seconds on a player, and 8 seconds on the puddle on the ground or wall. That is the corruptor leading up to its name. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any ideas for other cool gimmicks I could give other blasters that isn't just, you know, your average like revolver cylinder fed one, like it has to be unique Nerf blasters, okay? Leave a comment down below if you want to see me come up with ideas for that, even if I may not have it. But that's it for today's video. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. As always, stay awesome, guys. EJ out. Peace.